Day and night basketball. We're talking Boston Celtics, Houston Rockets, and Philadelphia 76ers. All three teams had high expectations coming into the season, and in many people's eyes, underachieved. Theo, before we get to that, let's talk about your Portland Trailblazers making it to the conference finals.
Trailblazers surprised me. They're having a good season so far.
Right.
Really good playoff run. A lot of people were like, because we're in Portland, so a lot of people were like, oh, you doubted the Blazers, you didn't think the Blazers were going to win. Well, let me tell you why. Let me explain why. The same reason why.
Talk to them.
The same reason why everyone else doubted them. So the Blazers last year got swept by the Pelicans, and up until this year had 10 games in a row, 10 straight playoff losses in a row.
Mm-hmm.
They lose their starting center with a broken leg, and they add 2 new players at the trade deadline. So I didn't expect them to get this far because based on last season, plus they lost all 4 games to OKC in the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't think they were going to even get past OKC because based on the last 10 playoff games they played, which were losses, and last year's getting swept by the Pelicans, and then coming into this year, playing OKC, who they lost to all 4 times in regular season,
Right.
plus losing their starting center and Nurkic, a big piece of the team, I thought that was it. I thought that they were going to lose first round and be done.
Okay.
So they've surprised me, and congratulations to the Portland Trail Blazers for getting this far, which has been a success, even making it this far.
It is.
And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens tonight.
And here's my thing. This is the reason why all what you said is I'm agree with you 100% on why you kind of underestimate them for a quick second. But on the flip side of it, I'm not too surprised that they're where they're at. I mean, I told people Cancer is a starter.
Yeah, and his Cancer is a starter. Yeah,
he's a starter. He's a good pickup.
Coming in so late, you didn't know how he was going to adjust.
True, but I knew. But probably the adjustment period was going to be what it is. But at the end of the day, Ronnie Hood he started in Utah forever.
Yes.
So these guys are starters in their careers, and throughout their career, they've been a big piece of every team they've been on. So for them to come to Portland, I really didn't see too much. I thought they actually gained.
They did. They definitely gained and strengthened their team by adding those 2 guys. But losing Nurkic,
That's big.
we didn't know if Cantor was going to be able to replace Nurkic as well as he has.
Yeah.
We didn't know that. And so
Nurkic who?
Yeah.
Nurkic who?
Nurkic was playing at a high level for the Blazers.
Right.
So it was hard to say that they're going to beat OKC, who they didn't beat when they had Nurkic.
Right.
Now they're going to beat them with Cantor and possibly playing even younger guys, Myers Leonard and Zach Collins.
Right.
That was a tough call. So,
Yeah.
That's the reason why I didn't think they were going to get through.
Yeah. All in all, at the end of the day, hey, best of luck against that series against the Warriors. We are true supporters. Believe it or not. But getting back to it, Theo, let's talk about these 3 teams that kind of had high expectations coming into the year, but didn't pan out the way, everybody kind of wanted them to, starting with Boston Celtics.
Well, if you look at last year, Boston actually made it to the Eastern Conference Finals and pushed LeBron and the Cavs to 7 games and lost in Game 7. They looked great,
Mm-hmm.
The problem was Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward weren't playing. And so all the young guys, Rozier, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, these guys were the guys playing the heavy minutes, and they had success.
Mm-hmm.
Now Irving and Hayward come back from injury and join the team, and there's too many guys. Now people's minutes get pushed down because obviously Kyrie has to play, Hayward has to play, so Rozier's minutes go down because Kyrie's playing, Jaylen Brown's minutes go down because Hayward's playing, and they're also taking a lot of shots, especially Kyrie Irving. So the chemistry got messed up.
Right. Remember last year in the playoffs, Tatum was, he was the hot rookie. Everybody was excited. He was taking over. He was the big impact guy.
Yeah.
And then this year, everybody kind of was hard on him that he wasn't really showing up.
Yeah.
Do you think that had a lot to do with Kyrie being a ball-dominant type player? Or, or you think it was because of Hayward? He needed his time, so he kind of shrinked all those other guys.
I think it's both of them. Having 2 guys come back is really hard. Having just one maybe would have been easier to adjust, but 2 guys, especially Kyrie Irving, who's a kind of a ball stopper, he's a great player, but he's a one-on-one player. He has the ball a lot. He dribbles it. He pounds it, and the other guys get lost, And you brought 2 guys back who are...
Not just 2 guys, 2 all-star
level guys.
Yeah.
So you brought 2 all-star level guys back, And for the young guys who had success last year, they're thinking, well, what about me? All of a sudden I'm losing shots, I'm losing playing time, I'm losing confidence at the end of the day. And they had good reason to think that way because they got them to the finals last year, to Game 7, and now LeBron's gone. If you'd have kept that same team, maybe they would have made it to the finals.
So where do they go from here? Who goes, who stays, who comes? What do you think is best? What's the next move for Kyrie and the Celtics?
I think it's a split. I think Kyrie's going to go his own way, and Boston's going to be totally fine with it. I don't think Boston really is.
Are you comfortable putting Rozier at that next spot?
I think Rozier's a pretty good player. Yeah, I mean, what he did last year in the playoffs. In the playoffs he performed. That's the hardest time to do it. So, yeah, I would feel comfortable putting him as a starting point guard. I would say Kyrie goes his way, and the Celtics go their way, and that's done. That little journey is over, and maybe they look at their roster and say, where can we improve? But really, they don't need to do much.
They don't.
They just need to get the chemistry back in line. Probably give the keys to the team back to Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Rozier, and Hayward can join that. Horford, of course. I mean, he's the leader of that team, and that's where their team needs to be. Mm-hmm. And I think if they stay in that situation, maybe add a piece or two, a young guy or something like that, then they'll be fine. They'll be better off than they were this year.
Philadelphia 76ers. I know that was a tough one. I know that really was a tough one. They played hard for a team that pretty much came together mid-season with trades and whatnot. Jimmy Butler and Tobias Harris joining the team. And a heartbreaking buzzer beater rattled in, touched every part of the rim and went in type shot to lose your season at that. Is that an improvement for them getting to this point? Well,
they did actually do better than they did last year. Last year, they lost to Boston in 4 games. They lost 4 games to 1. So 5 games they lost last year. They only won 1 game in the semis, in the Eastern Conference semis. This year they got to the same spot, but they pushed it to Game 7 and lost on a buzzer beater to a good Raptors team.
Right.
But something's off with that team. I've been saying that for a while. I think it comes down to
off on what side? Like on the offensive side? Or I think they need more bench. I think they need something off the bench.
They need to strengthen their bench, but at the same time, playing Embiid and Ben Simmons together is a challenge because Ben Simmons can't shoot, won't shoot, and he's the point guard, and the spacing is a little bit off with that team, because Embiid's an inside player and Ben Simmons can't shoot from outside, so he's trying to drive. So there's they got a little bit of chemistry issues, which they did add. See, this is the reason why I don't think this year was a success for them, because they tried to win now. They got Jimmy Butler and Tobias Harris to win this year. To get to the finals.
Isn't that what you want to do? But
that's what you want to do. But
when LeBron left the East, everybody started, hey, we got to be the next team up, right? Yeah. That was the mindset to everybody in the East. So why not be Philly? They had the right pieces.
Well, they tried to win now, and it didn't work. That's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. So they went and got Jimmy Butler. They went and got Tobias Harris. They had arguably the second best starting lineup in the NBA behind the Golden State Warriors. They probably had the next best starting lineup on paper, and it didn't work. So what that means to me is, and now they have to face Jimmy Butler's a free agent, Tobias Harris a free agent. Can they keep them? Do they want to keep them? I don't know. I think that the problem's deeper than that. I think the problem lies with Ben Simmons. Are you going to keep running Ben Simmons as your point guard, or are you going to get a different point guard and use Ben Simmons in a different way, or what are you going to do? Because I think that him not being able to shoot and then also having Embiid. See, if you look at Milwaukee, they have Giannis who doesn't shoot, but everyone else does. So he can attack, and if you help, he kicks it out to shooters. But Philly doesn't really have that. I mean, they have JJ Redick only. Jimmy Butler was kind of can shoot. Tobias kind of sometimes can shoot.
Mike Scott.
So that's the problem, I think. If you're going to run Ben Simmons at the 1, and he's not going to shoot, and he's not going to ever shoot, then you need shooters around him.
Okay. I can see where you're coming with that.
So they may have to retool their roster if they want to get farther.
Are you bringing the coach back next year?
They're going to. They said that they're going to.
Are you doing it, though?
I would not. I would move on.
Cutthroat.
I would move on.
So cutthroat.
I would move on, and I would look to hire a different coach because I just don't think he's going to get the job done. Okay. I just don't.
All right. Let's talk about Houston Rockets, a team that, they have. Everybody gets a lot of controversy about their style of play.
Yeah.
Pretty much look like open gym, shooting threes and stuff like that. It's really hard to play. It's a certain type of player or players that play in D'Antoni's system.
Yeah.
Do you think they can win in that style of play or not?
I don't think they can beat the Golden State Warriors, and that's the problem. So can they win? Yes. Can they beat maybe everyone else? Yeah, I think they could beat everyone else, but they can't beat Golden State. So that's their problem. Their main problem lies where they just can't beat Golden State. I think they can take down everybody else. I don't think that the system...
Not to cut you off, but I think the reason why they can't beat Golden State is because I think Golden State shoots better than them.
Yeah.
That's the main reason why. They're much more better shooters at Golden State than they do in Houston, so Houston can't match up with their shooting. But you're right.
Yeah.
That's the team that's the roadblock for them is the Warriors.
So for Houston this year, they finished worse than they did last year. But that's only because they had issues in the regular season that put them at the seed they got. So they didn't get the path they had last year. And they had to see Golden State in the semis instead of the Western Conference Finals. That's what messed them up. But that was injuries. That was stuff in the regular season that messed them up. Okay. That was Carmelo Anthony. The Carmelo experiment. The failed Carmelo experiment.
Don't do that.
Hey, it's true. But Houston just can't beat Golden State. And so I don't think that their team has a whole lot of holes. And I don't even think the system is... I don't like the way they play. I can't stand it. But I don't think that the system that they have is really that bad. Mm-hmm. I think the problem is, it doesn't matter what they do, they're not getting past Golden State.
Well, obviously you're right. I can't argue that. I mean, you're right. They definitely can't get past the Warriors, so that's just part of the game. Who you got to win that series? Put it out there right now.
Golden State and Portland?
Yeah.
Golden State. I mean, people are going to think, well, he always picks against the Blazers.
Again.
Man, I like to play the numbers, and the numbers say Golden State's going to win. Okay. The numbers said the Nuggets were going to win too, but they didn't. So I could be wrong, but in order for Portland to beat Golden State, they have to have absolutely outstanding performances from a whole lot of players. Not just Dame and CJ. Dame and CJ have to play well. But Cantor has to play good. Collins has to come off the bench and play good. Hood has to play good. Aminu, Harkless. I mean, all these guys have to have a great series in order to beat Golden State. Golden State's that good. That's why they're defending champs.
Yeah. With or without Durant.
Who are you picking?
I got the Warriors.
Oh, okay.
I got the Warriors.
And it's not a knock on Portland.
It's not a knock on Portland.
Nobody can beat Golden State right now, and that's what we've seen over the last couple of years.
Right. I'm not knocking Portland whatsoever. I always expected Portland as a team. They've got a good roster, got good coaches. They're missing that one little piece that to match up with other guys on the squad. But overall, I really believe that the Warriors are a strong team. Not only are they winning on the court, but off the court, these guys are considered friends, and the camaraderie off the court really is big on that team. Splash Brothers are still bros, even though they picked up their cousin Durant. And Draymond is going to be Draymond. He's always going to be there, competitive and leave on the floor type guy. But they always, guys off the bench for Warriors, great shooting, great. Bogut, picking up Bogut is huge. Yeah. Somebody who's helped them win a championship already.
Looney looks good.
You can go on and on with the Warriors sometimes.
Iguodala.
Oh,
Livingston.
How can we not mention Iguodala? Yeah. That's Livingston. Those guys are part of they've been there since the first championship. So
that's the problem. Golden State just has too much firepower.
They do.
And experience.
It's huge. But I do got the Blazers put up a good fight. They're not going to get swept. I got them probably anything losing in 6. I got the Warriors in 6.
All right. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode.
Like, comment, and subscribe, please.
Yeah. Thanks for all your support, guys. We put up another video next week.